Hey, so this is an OBS test recording of some of my development. Here, look, you can see it too. Beep. Hey, there's beep. Anyway, so I'm running into a little ouchie boo-boo here. It hurts because I am trying to instantiate prefabs. So the key here is to populate this with a grid of these tiles, is to populate a board of variable length. And what I want to do to make this easier to manage on myself is to have specific indices, or at least a board that holds the references or components to these tiles, you know? So I can actually manage the board the way that I would want to. What I would need to do this is these tile prefabs have a tile class that goes with them. Never mind, I deleted that as per my last video. Whoopsie. So because this is so, I would be able to access the tile component of this prefab and add its reference to a list of tile classes that would make up my board. This would make me be able to change tiles, find things on tiles, and just generally do things. And yeah, it turns out I can't really do that, which sucks a little bit. Ew, these cameras. It's the angle that I have it at, that's weird. So we have like Egg Pillman, who is the representative of game character in this tile. And here we have the best part of this so far, my ugly code. Here's a thought. I'm currently wrestling with this because the problem is right here. Let's mark it just so that I can't forget, even though it will plague me for days. So we are populating the board. We should definitely be drawing the board. So we go to the columns, and then we go to the rows and then our columns. Then we say vector 3 position is a new vector 3 of this specific altered position that it will sit at actually on the field. So this is where it sits at on the field. And then we instantiate a tile prefab, which is linked in Unity. I'll show that really quick too. Yeah, it has a game logic connection. Well, this is game logic, but its tile should be this fella. Let's see if this populates it the way I want to. Yep. Okay, that was easy and fun. So, yeah, note that these tiles have varying x and z values. Mostly as you expect them to be on a populated field, right? So what I need is to reference these tile clones. And it sucks because it's hard to reference these tile clones. It makes me want to literally define a map. It also makes me want to jump around in anger like a monkey, like an orangutan specifically. So it makes me mad that I can't reference these in a way that I know. So a solution I came up with, that was the plan perhaps, the solution that I was thinking was to create a game object. Let's call it the tile. So we have the tile here, which is, let's call it the T prefab. So it's the tile prefab. And it wants us to capitalize it, but you know. So, I'm sorry. Is he not already? Oh, okay. Never mind then. the T prefab is a game object and cannot be converted to a type unless my solution here that I'm doing is adding a component. We're going to add a tile component to this. So the T prefab.add component tile. Now I'm thinking we assign it get tile. But the thing is, we're referencing things that are not allowed. Can I give it a name? Probably not. No. Yeah, it doesn't accept anything. So we just added a component that's a tile, right? So I'm going to save this and run this. If we do this, then these should all suddenly gain tile components out of nowhere. It'll be super cool. It'll make me look like a wizard. There it is, alrighty. So when we have our tile, okay, we're going to need to literally set these. It also, it perturbs me that I was not able to, I think I did this by accident, so whoopsies. Yeah, there you go. It bothers me that in my tile class I have both a constructor for this, and I want to use the constructor. Can I use the constructor? Probably not in here. This would be very wrong. But can I do it? Pause normal. I cannot do it. This would be the constructor that we want. So we're adding a component that's a tile. Okay. When it starts, it should reference. Okay. The game object that holds it. It should reference the game object that holds it. I made this connection literally before. Game object dot finds game object by name, but that's not right. Of type including assets. So what I was looking to do here is yeah, destroy it, just kill it all. To find the game object that this tile class is assigned to, that it belongs to. But I can't do that up here. Let's see. The tile prefab, what is this guy even used for in the script? This is hard. It's also 2:38. My brain is worn out from work, but I shouldn't keep making excuses. So we got our guys. This is what we want. We add a tile component, but it doesn't set. So the T prefab has an add component that has tile. I wish this constructor would run because it's a tile class. Interesting that it doesn't run actually. Search up add component in Unity, and let's bring the scene over here. Let's see. Unity scripting AI, all my tabs. And I was listening to this It was not half bad, actually. I might have to listen to that more. But yeah, we have... no way! We can do that here too? Oh, baby. Let's find this out. Okay. So, we are adding a component to a tile, but we can assign that to tprefab tile. Is this prefab's tile? Okay, now we're getting somewhere. I want to see if this will run the constructor. If I actually set it to another fella, or not. If it runs the constructor, I'm going to wet myself probably. It did not run the constructor, so that will not be a problem we'll have to deal with. Okay, that's okay though. It's a step in the right direction, because now we can manually configure this to be what it is. Can we call the constructor? Oh, we have access to its fields. Wonderful. It would be nice to invoke it. I wonder if I can invoke tile pause normal as the constructor. Can I invoke the constructor? I'm going to cry. Okay. I guess the constructor in a C# class is not meaningless, actually. I shouldn't say that. We are going to take this method, we are going to copy paste it, and we are going to do assign values. Assign fields. So assign fields, a method must have a return set. Anyways, void assign fields assigns the fields of this. So when we instantiate this, when a tile is created otherwise where it can use the constructor, let's use this guy. Okay, assign fields, vector, row, column, tile type, no problem. Nice. Okay, so we are messing with this properly now. So now we can actually invoke the method. Let's see if I can access it in another way. Tile type dot properties. It wouldn't be a property, it would be a method. Update GL. Oh baby. Assign values is not there yet. Assign fields, please. I'm about to invoke it. I'm gonna do it right now. Okay, string method name is assign fields. That's not gonna work though, because I need those parameters. It did get the other methods, so it might just be a matter of saving and then doing it again. Let's see, t prefab tile dot. Please, Saya, I need this. We have these guys. We could assign it ourselves, but I want to be lazy and tell him to do it. Why? We have update GL. And that is a tile method. You have toString, and that is a tile method. Well. It don't seem like this here's making any sense. We're gonna run the game one more time so that this all can update. Populate, I say. He did it. Cool. And we're still having the problem of assigning those things. But that's okay. Okay. This is not the shift key. That is the control key. Okay, assign fields. I'm begging you, sir. You must know this. Due to its protection level? What do you mean? It's void. Is it just because I didn't specify it's public? Probably so. You should be good now, right? Pause, normal. Oh. That's int row and call. So our row is indicated by Y, our column is indicated by X, and we have normal. Oh, thank goodness. This might be my saving grace. I am actually holding out for a hero at this moment. There it is. Okay. Okay. Oh, baby. So this is 0, 0. This is column 1. Which means I should... Hey, I was writing before and saying I should be looking here. Yep, yep. Column 1, 2, 3, 4, and it populates accordingly. So this will make my life very good. Very, very good. Note that the tile and or the row in Z and column in X are the same. I might just change those variables to be the same since they represent almost the exact same thing, but one is a float and the other is an integer. I don't really care though right now. I'm more happy that I got the short-term victory. So we should also include in assigned fields tile and GL. How are we going to define them? You know what? You know what? This actually won't be a problem to define them. It better not be a problem or I'm going to cry. So what I'm thinking here is this dot tile type equals tile type. This method is indented weirdly, but that's just because I like to do things neurotically. This dot tile equals tile, and since this is just a general setter method, we have this. Now, when we call this, we go back here. Oh, ha 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 ha, hee hee hee. Whoa. Game tile, game object GL. This feels very inefficient, and I don't like this. I don't like this double constructor business. None of it. Okay, so we have this. Then the next fields that we have to do are the tile in question. So we will do the T prefab, and we will have our Gucci Louie, which is this. See, this was my big showcase. That was supposed to be pretty awesome, but this dot game object. Oh baby, I really want to see that this populates accordingly. I will never be able to tell though, because all compiler errors have to be fixed. Who said anything? Line 36 in tile. Game logic. Ha ha ha, stupid boy. That's fine. So now we can just change this to this. And now it looks as cool as I wanted it to. Word up. Let's give it a... Alright, one last time before I'm unaware of my... Do it. Tell me something's wrong. I'm going for it. Beautiful. Beautiful. Oh. so this one is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 from the bottom. Let's see this one if it's different. 1, 2, 2. I am so happy. Okay. So what this means is that I have bypassed my previous errors. I was stuck at this for a while, and what I wanted to do was instantiate based on these prefabs so I can get the shapes, and I would have certain things to access the tiles so I can control what they actually are. What we're also going to do is set this string to public because I want to see it. And basically this will allow me to do things like the targeting system, updating tiles at all, and just doing things. This is beautiful. This is exactly what I want. And the cool thing is that they all reference only one game logic. But if you notice, this guy is very different from this guy. He's higher up in the list than the other one. So they all have different references to the tile clones that they are, so it seems. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That one's a 10. Which one was this one? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That was a 9. Where's 1? I want to find a 1 based on this weird scheme. Oh, we almost had him. It doesn't really matter because I don't think these are organized very nicely. It would be nice to name them things that are other than tile clone, but that's all that we have for now. Thank goodness that's said and done. That was a problem that had me raking my brains, and the code for this could be a lot better. Yeah, I'm glad that's over with for now. I want to send a packet of information to update the board, but actually, since this board contains the references, let's get rid of print board and instead try something funny. So I believe the game is still running, so let's stop it. Okay, never mind. Let's do void change tile and a string change. Strings are immutable, so that's just me flexing computer science knowledge. I'm sorry. Int row, int column. So we'll change the board at row column, or the tile at row column. Dot what was it called? Tile type to be equal to change. Alrighty. And what we're gonna do here is this auto-populates it. Let's change, what was it called again? Okay, change tile. Weird. To the second one, the second row, and the fourth column. Pow. Let's give it a go and see which one it should be. So, second row, fourth column. Second row, fourth column. Second row, 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, that's not right. Which one of you guys is the weird one? Excuse my butt. Which one of you fellers? Which one of you fellers is the weird one? None of them are weird. Why, that is strange. That's awkward. We're not going to use this field. It's going to hate me for it, but we're not going to use that one. Just call it int wrong call. Okay, let's stop it and try again. And which one of you fellas is the weird one? No one? Okay. It's okay. It's all good. We're getting there. I want to see that this method is actually being called at all. Sorry to keep you guys, but this is just what I'm doing. Changing val at row plus row dot toString column oopsie daisy plus column dot toString. Alrighty, this should send out a little message to us that says that we are changing things. And oh, that's weird. Console. Changing value at row 2, column 4. According to our map, row 2, column 4 is not weird. He is perfectly normal. That's okay. Again, I'm more happy that this is happening as is that I've got the board populating and I've got the references correct. Go. Oh boy. You know, the tile for this tile script should be... No, that's right. I was gonna say it should be this, like this game object, and then I remembered that I assigned it to basically this game object. By assigning it immediately next to that, that's okay. That's okay. Do I have... Okay, yeah, this is in the class. I wonder if I could just, for a more visible change, change the y value plus or minus 1, or plus 1. This is going to be a funny prank to see if this is happening at all. Like if any changes are actually being made to this tile after they are drawn. Nothing will be more definitive than this. And as we can see, no change is currently happening. Okay, at least this code is supposedly running. Oh, well. Okay, object reference not set to an instance of an object. Here is where we are going to have to see if board is actually getting this data. I did not set board to get this data. That's awkward. That's a pretty bad oversight, but you know what? We don't worry about that. Okay, the rows are the y values and the columns are the x's. And we're gonna set this to our T prefab tile so that we actually get the reference of this reference type over there. This should work. This should do something. I may not like it, but it'll do something because we're no longer having a null reference exception, or at least we shouldn't be. What happened? Object reference not set to an instance of an object. That's an interesting way of saying that I'm dumb. Let's see. So if the board at Y and X is set to T prefab tile, so these are the tiles of them. You know what? Let's see if I can't just change this to a game object array and store the actual game object. So I have the T prefab. Now we're going to change it to T prefab.tile.y. Tile, can we do it? I don't think we can do it. We're not getting that. Okay. Position.y. I wonder if I did this wrong again. I know I did this wrong, but so we're trying to change the transform of this just to be funny. Transform dot what? Position dot y plus or minus 5. Transform the position because it is not a variable. Interesting. So we have our friend here who's being referenced. Interesting. This implies that we will have a harder time changing these than anything else, and that is discouraging to me, for a decent reason. I just realized it's cutting out the time. Oh, it's the aspect ratio. Oopsie daisy. Anyways, hey, you guys can't see me out here actually. Here I am. Yeah, it's just gonna be hard to change these tiles because they're... Should I make them static? If they're static, I should be able to reference them because they will be... you know what? I'm not gonna delete this. I'm going to comment this out, and I'm probably gonna call it a night. That was quite a good hustle that I got in there. I'm proud of myself, and I'm glad to document this. This will be going into my little portfolio thing. So, kapow. Alrighty, and I will, yeah, I'll be going. Have a good night, y'all. It is 3:03. Oh, baby.